Do you want to be famous on TikTok and Instagram, or do you actually want to sell houses? So I was watching the Broke Agent podcast on YouTube a week or two ago. And by the way, I absolutely love the Broke Agent. He's absolutely hysterical. Love all the content they put out. But they interviewed these guys, and they were Cody and Spencer from the North Valley Group. And they were talking about how they have had all this success on TikTok. They've got like 600,000 subscribers and millions and millions and millions of views. But the problem is, and they say this in the video, that it hasn't translated into any sales for them, an uptick.
So I would say there's a lot that we haven't capitalized on with the videos. I feel like we've gotten this attention and we haven't really mastered taking that and getting real estate business from it. Like we have had a little bit, but there's a lot on the table, I think, and we're hoping to tap into that a little bit more. Like he said, we've kind of been focused more on just the content creation, and that takes a lot of our time. And so we haven't been focused on growing the real estate business as much,
and they're trying to figure out, are we real estate agents or are we content creators? They start talking about brand deals and how they're going to monetize that traffic from TikTok. But do they want to be real estate agents, or do they want to be TikTok influencers or Instagram influencers? And the same thing goes for you, a real estate agent, when you're thinking about your content. Now, Cody and Spencer are hysterical. I mean, I've watched a bunch of their TikTok videos and they're awesome. And I'm not throwing shade at those guys because they're producing really good content. It's just, where's the direction of it? Where's it going? And as a real estate agent who wants to sell houses, instead of following trends, we need to actually focus on our market, what they're looking for, what their questions are, and not only entertaining them, which gives us the ability to actually, talk to them. You got to entertain them first. Your content can't suck, but it needs to be about real estate and not just some funny trend or some off-topic thing. Now, it is a great idea to have a certain percentage of your content. I would say the max is maybe 25% is off real estate topic. Maybe it's something you're really passionate about that you could connect with other buyers about. I've seen some people who are really into cars, some people who are really into hiking, some people who are really into parenting, whatever it is. You need to let your personality shine through, but I would say keep it at less than 25% of your overall content. But now you're thinking, if I don't follow trends and I don't do all that stuff, what do I actually make content about? Well, a great resource is to get on the Google keyword Google AdWords keyword tool and see what people are searching for. Look for the search volume, because it's very easy to find out what people are actually Googling, what their questions are. And I'll cut to that real quick. All right, so just Google AdWords, and you can create a free account with any Gmail address. And then what you want to do is come over here to Tools and Settings, and we're going to go to Keyword Planner, and we're going to discover new keywords. And so the first thing I'm going to do, so my market is Lexington, Kentucky, so I'm just going to say home for sale, Lexington, Kentucky. Realtor, Lexington, Kentucky. Real estate agent, Lexington, Kentucky. How to buy a house. Zillow, Lexington, Kentucky. Realtor.com, Lexington, Kentucky. Mortgage. And you can put in Lexington, Kentucky, but you can also just go down here and filter. So I'll just go ahead and filter this. Actually, I'm going to leave it to the entire United States, because I am going to also add move to Lexington, Kentucky. And so this is going to be searching for people all over the US that are considering moving to Lexington, Kentucky, which is also great YouTube content. So we could put in a website to filter out unrelated keywords. You might want to put Zillow in there, or whatever a large real estate website is. But anyway, we're going to say get results. And then I'm going to go search. All right. So the biggest one is mortgage calc. So you're not going to beat Bankrate or Lending Tree or any of those guys, but it tells us that lots of people have questions about mortgage rates. there's mortgage again, mortgage rates today. So mortgage rates are really, really big. Then home for sale in my market is getting up to 100,000 searches per month from July last year to June this year. I mean, that's a ton of traffic, which means there's tons of people searching for that. We should make content about that. How to buy a house. That also has a ton of content. 30-year mortgage rates. So mortgage rates are really important. 15-year mortgage rate. It's all mortgage rates. So actually what I'm going to do is go up here. I'm going to get rid of mortgage rates. And then I'm also going to filter to just Lexington, Kentucky. And so this DMA region is way too big for what I actually want because it's too large of a geographical area. So I'm going to go just Lexington, Kentucky, 584,000 people living in this one little county. Let's see what they're looking for. So Zillow's the number one, home for sale, realtor.com, houses for sale, U-Haul. So I might go expand into U-Haul and moving, a video about moving, local moving companies, interview a moving company. And that's another idea. Go make a video interviewing somebody who owns a local moving company and then have them share it, and you can leverage their audience by having them share if they've got a big social media presence. That's another thing we haven't talked about. For sale by owners. So anyway, you guys get the idea. Looking for content ideas using the Google AdWords Keyword Planner is going to show us all the search volumes that and search terms that people are searching for in your local market, and is a great way to come up with awesome content ideas. Evergreen content, stuff that always works is house tours, things of local interest, local parks, local restaurants, local bars, whatever it is, things that make your area. And the best part is when you state a opinion, it's going to blow up the comments, and then the algorithm is going to love it because it's going to see lots of engagement. So always those opinions about, what's the best local donut? What's the best Italian restaurant? What's the best sushi restaurant? Whatever it is, your favorite park. It doesn't matter, just state an opinion, make it about your local market. It's going to drive engagement and it's going to drive conversation. The algorithm's going to love you. I actually did one on what your favorite donut is, like 5 or 6 years ago, and it completely blew up, and there was a lot of heat in the discussion or the comments about who had the best donut in town. I have a very strong opinion on it, but so do other people. Another piece of content that is really good is school information. Now, you can't state an opinion, but if you're anything like my market, there is statewide testing, there's goodschools.com, and you can take all that content, put it down into a condensed PDF that people can give you their email for to download. You can show them all kinds of information about school districts. Where can they find out what school district they're in? Now, we can't steer people, we can't redline, we can't state an opinion about any schools, but we can be a great resource for information for our potential clients to go look at. And it's going to build our brand, it's going to educate them, it's something that's going to really help. And more importantly, instead of having this same conversation hundreds of times with every single client, anytime a new client would come in, I would send them my home buyer roadmap, which just is this one-page infographic that showed them the entire process. It was awesome. And then I also sent them that year's video on the school district, and it had our school information test scores, and it had all that information. And so I made sure that I wasn't violating any ethical rules. It saved me a ton of time in that 2-hour conversation where they're asking about schools, especially if they're relocating. And it was a great piece of content. And then also, your how-to videos. How do you buy a house? How do you go through inspections? How do you find a mortgage? What is the closing process? All of those, and you can make one really big long video that you put on YouTube, but then you can take it and chop it up into smaller pieces and use that for content on social media. So, it's really fun to follow trends. It's really, whatever the latest thing, like the Wes Anderson trend about a month ago, 2 months ago, it was great. I did it for one of my clients, actually 2 of my clients in my advertising business, and it was fantastic. They were funny, they were great, but you got to find a way to twist it back to real estate, give some education, give some value, and utilize that trend. So make sure all of your content is, somehow real estate related, and you've got that strong call to action, and that's what's going to make your content go and set you apart from everybody else. So now you got this playbook for some great content, but nobody's still seeing it. And to become an influencer, to actually grow that huge audience, it's a crapshoot. There's no guarantee you can follow everything, and the algorithm may love you, it may not, and that takes an enormous amount of time. And I don't know about you, but I want to sell houses right now. So how do we get eyeballs on our content now? And the answer is ads. And I'm not talking about using Boost or the native advertising crap that's inside of the Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok app. You need to be using the full-fledged desktop advertising platform, and it can be confusing, but it's once you do it a couple times, it's super easy, and it doesn't have to be a ton of spend. Literally for like $20 on every piece of content, you can get so many views and blow up, and it can start generating sales in the next 30, 45, 60 days and really make an impact. And unlike Zillow ads, which are getting more and more expensive, Realtor.com, all the other ad sources, we're actually building a brand and we're building a relationship with that customer. And so unlike where I'm buying ads from Zillow and then I'm just some guy who's literally going to answer the phone, harass them, and the only service I provide is opening a door, when I'm running ads and I'm showing content that educates my audience, I'm building a brand with them, I'm building reputation, I'm building trust. And once somebody trusts you, it makes your job so much easier. When you get to that really challenging inspection or that really challenging negotiation, they're going to trust you because they've been seeing your content over and over and over again, and they know you're an expert. And because of that, your job becomes wildly easier. And with this type of advertising versus buying leads, instead of you going and chasing them, they're coming to you. And let me tell you, I've done it both ways. And when they come to you, your life is so much easier and more enjoyable. So start running some ads. Literally, dedicate $100, $200 a month to this. It does not have to be a huge amount of money, but as you take that piece of content that was getting 100 views, 500 views, 1,000 views, whatever it was, literally for like 20 to 40 bucks, we can get 3, 4, 5,000 views on a piece of content. Now, it's not like back in 2014 when I first started advertising and running videos on Facebook. Back in the day, you could get like 6 views for a penny, sometimes 10 views for a penny if your content was really good. Those days are gone, but still, real good content can still get a view for a penny, sometimes 2 views for a penny. And compare that to anything else, and it's not even funny. But as you start to grow that audience, the key to running ads is after you run 4 or 5 pieces of content, we've now got 3,000 to 5,000 views per piece of content that's targeted within 15 miles of my market. There's lots of rules around real estate. It's a specific ad category. I can't remember the exact term, but basically it eliminates your ability to use most of the advertising filters that you can use in those ad platforms. But we've got 5,000 people for video within 15 miles of wherever we're looking, and then multiply that by 4 or 5 pieces of content. Now we've got what, 20, 30, 40,000 views. And so from that, we can build a retarget audience. So if you've ever gone on Amazon and you looked at something and then the next minute you're scrolling Instagram and all of a sudden you see whatever you were looking at, that is called retargeting. So what we do is we take those 20, 30, 40,000 people who have viewed our first 5 videos, and then our next piece of content, we run an ad that goes to new people, just a cold audience, but then we say anybody that watched 1 second, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 50%, 75%, whatever it is, and I can go on for hours about what the breakdown is and what the theory behind how much time they should watch. But aside from that, I'm going too deep. We take the original 30 or 40,000 and we say anybody that watched 5 seconds of any of those 5 videos, I want to show them this next video. And so now they've seen us 2, 3, 4 times, and we continue doing that every single time. And this can literally be a $10 budget, a $15 budget. It doesn't have to be huge, but we start to build that retarget audience. I find, in my market, we've got roughly 350,000 people on social media within a 10, 15 mile radius. And so I found that about 10%, an audience of 30 to 40,000 was really healthy, and made sure that I had more business than I knew what to do with. And they continually see that. And if you'll remember back to the old days of advertising, advertisers just won because they just beat you over the head. And I can't remember where in the hell I saw this. I'll try and find it and find a link. But basically, the old theory is someone has to see your brand 7 times before they remember it. So that means somebody has to see your content 7 times before they remember who the hell you are. And the more times they see you, the more they're going to recognize you as so-and-so, the real estate expert in my market. And when it comes time to buy or sell, or even more importantly, when it comes time for a referral, it is a great way to generate business. So if you guys would like to learn more about ads, put it down in the comments of this video, or if you're watching this in the newsletter, just reply back to the email and let me know. I don't know what you guys want to see. Would love to hear your feedback. I'd be happy to put together some quick how-to videos on how to do ads. You need to decide, are you going to be a influencer who tries to get brand deals and become famous on social media, or do you want to be a real estate agent who sells real estate? And those are 2 very different content strategies. And I'm going to focus on content strategies for real estate agents to help you sell houses. And if you're not a subscriber, please click the link down below and join hundreds, soon to be thousands, of other realtors who are getting great content ideas and information like this delivered to your inbox for free every single week. And I can't wait to see you over there. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to know more about. Do you want to learn about ads? I would be happy to put that together. And thanks for watching, and keep making some awesome content.